Hey guys, welcome back. So I am still drying the bin for the Louisiana swamp worms, as you can see here on the surface. But these tubs are taking a while to dry. The weather is so weird here, guys. Today I woke up and it was like 48 outside. Cold. But then the other day it was so humid. And it's kind of humid here in my basement, so I think that's why these are taking longer. But every day I fluff them. I got a question of how do I dry them out? This is what I basically do. I just fluff them every day because when you fluff them, like clumps will like break apart. Like this, see, a clump will break apart. So you kind of go like this. Because if they dry like that, they stay hard. They're like these hard nuggets you'll have everywhere, and if that's not your goal, which is not mine, I fluff them every day. I fluff them. If I come down here to get something, I take a moment and I fluff them. So let me show you the castings that I've been harvesting. So over here I'm drying some more castings so I could put them through the machine. I think these are okay to put through the machine now, but I've been putting them through the machine and getting these castings, which is pretty awesome. So, you know, I love this thing. Look at the castings. They're just gorgeous. And they're gonna dry more here. And I know someone's gonna ask me what size mesh am I using. This is the 12 mesh. I bought this one. It didn't come with my machine. And this catches the cocoons. See the hole compared to my finger for comparison? So what I do is when the castings come out, I take this then with the cocoons and I throw it back in the worm bin. And it's, you know, the cycle of life in here. But they're doing good. But look, they're still kind of, see how wet they are? But they'll get there. Just fluff every day. They'll get there. And you know, knowing when this is dry enough and when to harvest, just it's like something I can't really tell you. It's something that you'll learn from experience just by touching them. You'll know when that window is, because even though I'm drying this out for removal of the castings, if I dry them too much, the worms can die and cocoons will die. So there's that fine window in between that you just learn as you go, basically. And trust me, I have killed a lot of worms accidentally, not knowing, but that's how, you know, that's how I learned through the years. So this is a smaller bin I have here on the counter of just pure red wigglers. I just wanted to put a few in here and just experiment with them and just see what they do. There's not many in here and they're really little, so I'm just waiting for them to start reproducing. I have been feeding this a little bit of chow on the surface, and they're eating it. So they're definitely okay. And this bedding is, it's peat moss. No, it's coconut coir. I can tell by the fuzzies. So see, look. So they're doing all right. I'm gonna give them a little worm chow. Just give them some on the surface. There we go. And I just cover them, put them back on the shelf. So that's where those guys are. And you know, I'll do experiments like that. I'll feed them different things just to see what they do, whether they hate it, love it. It's just fun to try different things. Well, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So over here, I am gonna check my African night crawlers. How are you all doing? I'm doing great. The siren of cicadas that I have outside is unbelievable. It's the year of the cicada, they call them. My African night crawlers are doing great. I shipped some to a friend this week. And they arrived great and everything's great. Man, they are eating this paper. I had so much of this in here and they are just devouring it. I'm seeing so many young worms in this bin, so I know that they are definitely happy. But I warned him, when you get them, you got to watch them the first couple of days because they act a little crazy sometimes. They try to run. I have found worms on the floor. And then around day like 5 or 7, they finally decide, hey, this isn't such a bad place to live. And then they calm down. But the first couple of days sometimes are rough. At least for me, that's my experience. Watch them be like really good with him. And I'll be like, hey, maybe it was just me then. So how are you all doing? How are your gardens? My garden is doing well. I actually planted it this year. And I'll give you guys an update soon. One of my favorite YouTubers announced that he's not filming anymore. I don't know if you watch his channel. He's called The Outdoor Boys. I've been watching that channel for years. It's basically camping and survival and stuff. I love stuff like that. So I'm sad that he's not filming anymore. But, you know, his channel grew so big that I guess it got overwhelming. And it was interfering with his family life, he said. So, yeah. But he's going to help his son grow his channel. So we'll still see him on there. But anyway, these guys are doing good. Remember, I harvested them. And it's good for me to thin out the herd, you know, because if they get overpopulated, they self-regulate. Like, there'll never be like a huge amount of worms in here that it gets like overwhelming. Worms self-populate according to the size of your bin. So if this gets overpopulated, like if I were to take 10 pounds of worms and throw them in here or even more, eventually some of them will die. So it's good for me to occasionally, you know, thin out the herd and, you know, get rid of them and sell them off. And I've had people ask when my worm's coming back to the website. You know, I don't know yet. I did find a trusted supplier that I might switch to, because I told you the one that I was using partially retired. And, you know, that's okay. People I know retire and have to, you know, spend time with family and stuff. So I might do that at the end of the summer, because I'm going to switch my platform for my website that I'm using now. I'm going to switch to another platform because I have had so many problems with this platform. I am just so sick of it. I'm sick of them and their problems and me paying $1,000 a year and it doesn't work. I'm just going to give these guys some worm chow and get them going again. So yeah, I'll be switching. And I know that a new website is not going to be cheap either, but geesh, at least has to work, you know? I hate that when you pay for something and it doesn't work. So anyway, I'm hoping the new one will be better. So if you guys don't follow me on TikTok, I show a lot of my hermit crab stuff over there because people like it. And my TikTok is called Feed Your Crabs. So I'm sure you can find me. I show worms over there and I show my hermit crabs and just other stuff I do, you know, silly things. So I am drying out my Louisiana swamp worm bin because I want to get these castings out. But, you know, remember I told you there's a fine line you got to watch to where you can't dry them out too much to where they die. But then if it's too wet, it won't go through the sifter. So sometimes I really can't tell. I can just tell by feeling, but then I also test it. So let's turn on the sifter. Let's try 1 scoop and see if it'll go through. If it's still too wet, then I just keep fluffing up my bin and drying it. So let's try this. I love this machine. Still love it. I also use this so that I'm not damaging, you know, the mesh. So, yeah, look. All right. It's getting there. I think I could sift this. Yeah. So I'm using the number 12 mesh, which I ended up buying. This one came with the number 10. And look, as you can see, it'll catch the cocoons. Look, there's a cocoon. Yeah, it'll definitely catch the cocoons. So why don't we do this together? Let me see if I could set you up on a tripod. So I'm just going to put this here, which I have next to it, so that I can reset it later. Hi guys. I haven't showed myself in a while. So I just got home. I went food shopping and the weather's been crazy here. It's been raining like crazy. So in July, I'm doing a big conference for the hermit crab community. So I've just been going through it, guys. I'm still grieving. I'm still grieving the loss of my dad. I don't know. So I'm just trying to get used to the idea of, I guess I'm just trying to get used to the idea of him gone. And it's been rough. But, you know, I don't want to lose my spark because it's just part of my personality and it's the way he was, you know. So I'm just going to keep on trucking forward. So let's get this done. These Louisiana swamp worms really need to get out of here. So I don't know where I'm going to angle you. Probably at the sifter. I think that'd be more interesting. All right, let's do a couple of scoops here, and then I'll also move you over there so you could see how they're going. You know, for what it's worth, it doesn't do a bad job. Definitely the castings could be drier, but I think I'm going to keep going anyway. I mean, look at them. And yes, I did purchase this machine. This one wasn't sent to me. I've had others sent to me, but not this one. And it was one of the best purchases I've made. So look, the number 12 does catch cocoons. And you know, all this stuff, this is like the skin of a cantaloupe, seeds. I just throw it back in because they're just going to keep working it. And, you know, it'll just go back. But yeah, I see cocoons. So I'm just going to keep going and piling it here. And then we'll have to reset them. So if those of you that are wondering who I sent the African night crawlers to, it's actually my friend Patrick. His channel is called Vermicomposting Learn by Doing. And I was a subscriber of Patrick's channel right when he first started. And I've seen his channel grow like you won't believe. And it is wonderful, all the stuff that he does, little experiments and stuff like that. But he's never had African night crawlers. So he messaged me. And I was more than happy to send him some. And I took them out of my own bin. I just started picking them out. I mean, I didn't sift them for cocoons or anything. If cocoons went, well then, more for Patrick. But, so I'm sure he'll do a video with them. So if you want to see how they're doing on his channel, go find him. His channel, it's very good. I love it. and he's doing a great job. So I'm going to keep sifting this, and today is Friday. Usually on the days I film are Thursdays, but I don't know. I just felt like doing it today. I needed to get out of the house and do some food shopping, and that's what I did. So we're going to keep sifting these. And I'm just taking them from the surface like this, and then putting them over there when they're done. The good thing about this machine is that it comes with this mat, but it has rubber at the bottom, so it stays put. And I've walked away from it, and I haven't had any problems. But I think I added too much to this one. Or it's still too wet. So I'm going to throw this right back in my bin. Yeah, it's kind of wet. But I got good castings. Look at this. It's beautiful. Black gold, guys. They call this black gold. Yeah. Still a little too wet. Putting them back in. I mean, I'll keep what I have. But yeah, look. You can tell. So we're still not there. And I'm putting them on top of this bin because this bin is the one that has the Louisiana swamp worms, red wiggler, the Euros, and the African nightcrawlers in here. So if any fall in there, it's fine. But I'm just going to keep working this. And, you know, it's so humid here right now. So that's also the problem. This is the stump of the top of a pumpkin. I just keep it in there. So let's put this guy's back. We're going to keep drying this bin out. A lot of sifting, a lot of shaking, a lot of... This is how I dry my bins out. I fluff them up. Every day I fluff them. And when I find any clumps like this, let's say, I just break it apart. And then you'll see that this starts turning to like a powder in time. But you got to watch that fine line because you don't want to kill your worms. So yeah, I'm definitely going to stop this one and just keep drying it. Spread it out. All right. Let's check on the red wigglers. Red wigglers were sent to me from New Soil Castings, Bobby. And I want to see how they're doing. This is also just about ready to sift, but they are still working on some watermelon right here. And this is an avocado, not an avocado, a mango seed. This is mango. They're still working it. There's so many cocoons in this bedding. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is another one that's going to have to be dried out and sifted. And if I don't want to wait for them to finish that, I could just do a surface, like take it off the surface, put it aside, and dry it that way. But definitely needs some fluff in here. Very dense. And when you have dense bedding like this, it can cause a problem. That's the last thing I want right now. I love when worms work a surface, they make it very flat. It looks like a flat plane. Look, you can tell. But they're doing great. Healthy worms. And I can tell they're working this well because it's so like compacted. But yeah, this is definitely castings right here. So we're gonna plan ahead for that one, because I'll have to move this bin out of this shelf and move it to one of the tables over there. These tubs get full of castings. They get very heavy, very heavy. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. And press that subscribe button. Give me the thumbs up. Share with family and friends. I have playlists of all my videos for you guys to enjoy and learn from. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.